Juniors running a 50-50 today. Look for them in the stands. We'll announce the winning ticket for the end of halftime. We also welcome Albright football to today's doubleheader. Now let's meet the starting lineups for our second game. First, for the Lebanon Valley College Dutchman. At guard, a 5'9" freshman from Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, number 3, Daywin Stapler. At guard, a 5'6" junior from Fredericksburg, Pennsylvania, number 5, Amber Kinser. At guard, a 5'5" sophomore from Avondale, Pennsylvania, number 12, Sarah White. At guard, a 5'6" senior from York, Pennsylvania, number 22, Morgan Bamberger. And at forward, a 6-foot junior from Pottsville, Pennsylvania, number 35, Emily Maley. Mimi Sokaitis, the head coach for Lebanon Valley, in her 6th season. She is assisted by
Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back inside the Bowman Center on the campus of Albright College as we continue our basketball coverage here on the Albright Sports Network here on a Saturday afternoon. I'm Tyler Trumbauer bringing you all the action. We just took in the men's game where it was a tight contest throughout and the Dutchmen prevailed in the closing minutes. Now the women's game between these two schools set to take place in a matter of minutes. Albright to the 11th ranked team in the country, 18-2 overall, 9-2 in a conference play. Lebanon Valley coming into today, 7-13 overall, 2-9 in conference action. The Lions coming off a tough 55-53 loss at Stevenson, just their second setback of the 2019-20 campaign, their last time out. Now time to meet the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Dutchman, number 3, a 5'9" freshman guard/forward from Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, Dalen Stabler. Number 5, a 5'6" junior guard from Fredericksburg, Pennsylvania, Amber Kinser. Number 12, a 5'5" sophomore guard from Avondale, Pennsylvania, Sarah White. Number 22, a 5'6" senior guard from York, Pennsylvania, Morgan Bamberger. And number 35, a 6-foot-tall junior forward from Pottsville, Pennsylvania, Emily Maley. The head coach of Lebanon Valley is Amy Tsikaitis in her 6th season at the helm. For Albright, starters, number 12, a 6-foot-tall sophomore forward from Northfield, New Jersey, Gabby Boggs. Number 13, a 5'9" sophomore guard from Westchester, Pennsylvania, Maggie O'Hare. Number 21, a 5'6" senior guard from Reisterstown, Maryland, Haley Dayton. Number 31, a 5'10" sophomore forward from North Wales, Pennsylvania, Brady Wassel. And number 32, a 6'1" sophomore forward from Reading, Pennsylvania, Deja Terrell. Janice Luck in her 18th season is the head coach of the Lions. As we're underway here inside the Bowman Center, game 2 of our doubleheader here this afternoon in Berks County. The Lebanon Valley College Dutchmen coming to Reading, Pennsylvania. Dayton with the basketball up top now, working it over to Terrell. Terrell drives, left hand spin move, right hand finish, gets off the glass and in for 2 points for Terrell and Albright. Now here the Dutchmen are on offense for the first time here this afternoon. And that far side way now bringing it to the near side. Here's White. Shot clocked at 2. Now pass and a traveling violation called on Stabler. She took one too many steps before trying to attempt that shot. Now we have a conversation between our officials here. Game clock currently shows precisely 9 minutes. We'll see if it stays that way. And it will, so we're underway here. 2-0 Albright lead. Lions back with the basketball now. Dayton tried to get it to O'Hare, who was cutting on the baseline but couldn't connect. Here's Terrell, drives, tough angle, can't get it to go. Rebound hauled in by Maley. Now here are the Dutchmen looking for their first basket of the day. Up and in for two. Good insertion pass down to Maley on the low block, and she'll lay it in for two. 8:20 remaining in the opening quarter. Here's Wassel, now worked it over to Dayton. Dayton to Boggs. Boggs loses it out of bounds, and it'll be Lebanon Valley basketball. Albright currently second in the MAC Commonwealth standings. Lebanon Valley second last. But still, anything can happen on any given day. O'Hare nearly pickpocketed the Dutchman. Now she has the basketball and a jump ball called right there at midcourt. The possession arrow will keep it with Lebanon Valley. Albright to inbound the basketball, 7:59 to go. Now here a three, that one's short, no good, hoisted up by O'Hare, and Lebanon Valley gets the rebound. And that one tipped, stolen away as they try to get it to the pass of the lane. Here's Wassel bringing it up the floor. Out of bounds it goes. And it'll be Lebanon Valley basketball. 2 turnovers for Albright, 3 for Lebanon Valley in the first 3 minutes of the game. And that's a fourth. For the Dutchman, is that pass a bit too far out of bounds, so it remains locked at 2 here with 7:13 to go. And now here a 3 from O'Hare. That one's short again, no good. Rebound chased down by Boggs. Now here's Wassel for 3. That one's no good. Offensive rebound hauled in by Albright once again. Here's the top of the key 3 for O'Hare. That one's no good again. And an offensive rebound no more. It goes to Lebanon Valley. They'll stop shot 3. That's no good. Tipped out of play. Looked like 2 Lions were fighting for the rebound, Boggs and Terrell. Neither got it. It tipped out of bounds, went out of play off of them, though. So it'll stay here with the Dutchman. 6:38 to go. Now to the top of the key. Working around to the near side. That's Stabler. Insertion of the low block to Maley. Back out to her. She drives baseline. Back to Maley. Maley's shot no good. Out of bounds. Off of the Dutchman. It'll be Albright basketball. Substitution. It's a sub for Lebanon Valley. Into the game is Sophia Bowers. She checks in for Sarah White. Bowers is a sophomore guard from Frederick, Maryland. And that shot is in for 2 for Dayton, as it's a 4-2 lead now. Lebanon Valley in the midst of a 2-minute, 15-second scoreless drought, and that one is a kicked basketball by Boggs. Nearly stole it, but she got a toe on it as well. 6 minutes precisely remaining in the opening quarter. Back up top. Now wing 3, that one misses everything out of bounds, and it'll be Albright basketball. Substitutions for the Lions here. Their first time dipping into the bench. Dayton and Wassel will go to the bench. Coming into the game for them is number 20, Amina Rauf, a sophomore guard from Bowie, Maryland, as well as number 10, Abby Gaffney, a sophomore guard from Reading, Pennsylvania. Terrell, also from Reading, can't get that one to go, but it was a good look. Out of bounds. and a foul called on Rauf as she locked up with, it looked like, Lebanon Valley's Sophia Bowers. So Rauf checks in and picks up her first personal foul. That's the first foul on either team here this afternoon. And Lebanon Valley will inbound the basketball and bring it up the floor here. Down 4-2, nearing the midway point of the opening quarter. And now that one tipped out of play by Boggs. It'll stay here with Albright, with Lebanon Valley, with 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Active hands on the defensive end for the Lions here so far today. It's created already 4 turnovers and a couple of tip ball, jump ball, and kicked ball. Just a little bit of everything on that defensive end, staying active here in the early going. And now here's a deep three. That one no good. Rebound falls to Albright with 5:09 to go. 4-2 Lions lead. Now a drive. Gaffney left-handed layup, no good. And the ball falls into the hands of Maley of Lebanon Valley. And now we have a jump ball. Locked them up between Terrell and Maley. They hit the floor. The possession arrow will keep it with the Dutchman. And a traveling violation called on the Dutchman, a turnover. So remains 4-2 here now. 4:40 to go. Rouse stop. Now she'll take an elbow jumper. That one's short, no good. Rebound by Boggs. She goes up, a little contact. That doesn't go, and Maley gets the rebound. A lot of good looks for the Lions here in the early going. They're just not falling. Neither team has scored in 95 seconds. Lebanon Valley hasn't scored in 4 minutes. Not a lot of offense here in the opening quarter, but a lot of good looks for both teams. Just they're not falling here for them. Stabler up. That one does sneak in. Breaks the scoreless drought for the Dutchman. And Dalen Stabler from Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, gets the bucket to go. We're locked at 4. That one by Terrell, up and under, no good. And Maley gets another rebound. Boggs and Maley have been forced to be reckoned with on the glass. Already 5 rebounds for Maley and 4 for Boggs today. Here's a baseline jumper by Stabler, misses everything. Here's Rauf coming up the near side. 3:41 to go. She looks to take it herself, gets blocked from behind, and Lebanon Valley will pick up the ball after the block. 3:33 to go, locked at 4. Here the Dutchman. Top of the key 3, that one's no good. Long rebound hauled in by Gaffney. Gaffney pushes ahead, it's tipped, it's still up for grabs. Finally falls out of bounds. And they'll say it's off of Albright, but then they'll change the call right away and say it will be off of Lebanon Valley and stay here with the Lions. Substitution for Lebanon Valley. Sarah White back in. Bowers goes back to the bench here. 3:15 to go in the opening quarter. Here's Terrell, top of the key. She'll spot up for a 3. That one's no good. Great box out by Maley. No one crashing. And Lebanon Valley's White picks up the basketball as she runs point on the other end of the floor, just coming off the bench. Nearly tipped away by O'Hare. Under 3 minutes to go. Here's Stabler. Now over to Kinser. Kinser hands it off. Here's Maley. Shot clock at 5. She'll put up a 3, and Emily Maley with a 3 makes it a 7-4 ball game now in favor of Lebanon Valley College. They got to come out and defend her as she showed her range there and knocks down the tray. She's got 5 of the team's 7. Traveling violation here and a turnover on Albright. 2:31 to go. Lebanon Valley with their first lead of the game. Drive, Stabler up, left-handed layup, and a foul. Called on Deja Terrell.
Personal foul, the Lions number 32, Deja Terrell. Her first.
That's the first on Terrell, the second on the Lions. The Dutchmen have yet to commit a foul here in the game. First free throw by Stabler is good. As a team, the Dutchmen shoot 63% from the free throw line. Stabler and Maley have all of Lebanon Valley's points so far today, as she now has 4 of the team's 9, and Maley with 5, including that last three-pointer. So now it's a 5-point deficit for the Lions here late in the opening quarter. Just 4 points for Albright, 2 by Dayton, 2 by Terrell. Raouf, step back 3, good. Amina Raouf with a 3 to make it 9-7 now as they start to cut into that deficit. Raouf out on defense there of Kinser. Good active defense, gets some cheers from the crowd, but then she gets beat. Kinser recovers and lays it in for 2. Now on the other hand, nearly thrown away, but they do save it to Gaffney. Now O'Hare drives, kicks, Gaffney, corner 3, no good. Rebound goes to Stabler. Under 90 seconds to go now. 4-point lead for the Dutchmen. Stabler loses the basketball and a traveling violation called as she hit the floor, and that's the 6th turnover on the Dutchmen here in the first 8.5 minutes of play. Terrell gets to the Boggs on the low blocks. Boggs, spin move, left-handed layup, good move and finish. Gabby Boggs gets in on the scoring. She's already got 4 rebounds, but now give her 2 points. Under a minute to go now. It's a 2-point ball game here in the opening quarter. Trapped in front of the scorer's table, and Raouf forces a jump basketball, nearly stole it away, and the possession arrow will give it to the Lions. Gaffney walks the ball up the floor. 40 seconds to go here in the half. Now Boggs left hand layup, but gets swatted away by Maley as she was trying to go up with it. So 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock. We'll keep it here. Now Terrell drives, and that's a tough shot, but she gets fouled. And that'll send Terrell to the line to shoot 2. It'll be the first free throws of the day for the Lions. Albright shooting as a team 68% from the free throw line so far this season, and her first is good, as she could potentially tie the game here on this trip at the free throw line. And the second is good as well, so we're locked at 11 here with 29.2 to go. Terrell with 3 points now. That one out of bounds off of the Lions. The Dutchmen with a strong first half. Neither team really being able to score a lot of points, but Lebanon Valley has led for most of this opening quarter. They break that full court press with ease. They can hold for the final shot if they choose to. Maley's like, nah, I'll take the 3. And that one's no good, out of bounds. And it'll be Albright basketball who, now the Lions have the opportunity to take the final shot attempt of the opening quarter, as the game clock's now at 10. Gaffney over to Raouf. Raouf trying to get it to Terrell maybe. No, she drives, now gets it to Terrell. Terrell kiss off the glass with 2 seconds to go. And that falls for Deja Terrell, and that'll do it. And that locks the game, as that gives it a 13-11, breaks the tie at the end, and Albright overcomes what was at one point a 5-point opening quarter deficit and leads 13-11 after the first quarter of play. We'll step aside. I'll be right back with the second quarter. You're watching Albright Women's Basketball on the Albright Sports Network. back here on the Albright Sports Network to start the second quarter of play, and then we have a false start to begin the second quarter. It looked like maybe all the fouls needed to be reset here for the second quarter on the scoreboard. So we'll restart it and reset the clock as well. And the Dutchmen will have the basketball to start the second quarter. Now Maley gets that one to go in the lane. Emily Maley having a strong start to the game, as now they make it 13 all and stop a 6-0 scoring run Albright had there to end the opening quarter. Here's Boggs, kicks it to O'Hare, once more to Terrell. Good ball movement here on this trip down the floor, but then they lost in a foul. That's going to be called on Lebanon Valley. And that's going to be on Maley, her first, team's first here in the second quarter. And that one sat up there and in for Albright. What a shot that just thought about it there for a second and went in. And it's 15-13 now in favor of the hosts, and that's a turnover, and it'll go right back to Albright. O'Hare on the wing, now over to Boggs. Boggs back to Terrell, and Boggs is calling for it in the lane. Terrell's going to take it herself. Tough angle, doesn't matter. Deja Terrell, that's why she's the conference leader in scoring, 22.8 points per game. Gets that one to go. Now another back-to-back turnover by the Dutchman on up ahead to O'Hare, a little bit too far. Now she kicks it to the trailing Routh, who drains her second three. And that's not an ideal start for the Dutchman, and Coach Cicadas will call a timeout, as Albright is now on a 7-0 scoring run in the last 66 seconds and lead 20-13 with 8:41 to go. Quite the start to the second quarter there. Not a lot of offense in the first quarter for either team. Albright scored 13 points in that first quarter, already has 7 here in less than 2 minutes of the second quarter. So quite the start, kind of shaking off the sluggish start, and are right back at it here for the second quarter offensively. Maley looking for someone to throw the basketball to, finally gets someone, as the Lions are implementing a full court pressure and another turnover out of the timeout. That's 3 straight turnovers. O'Hare picks up her dribble on the baseline, gets it to Rouse. She steps back, pump fake, pulls up, jumper. And Amina Rouse saw that one in and out, but Boggs, second chance also no good. Boggs now with 5 rebounds on the day. Terrell with 8 points, Rouse with 6. All 6 of those coming by way of 2 3-pointers. Here's Maley, now to Stabler, low block, head fake, goes up and gets it to go, counted, and a foul as Deja Terrell fouled Dalen Stabler underneath the rim, and now has picked up her second foul here with 8:08 to go in the second quarter. That'll send Stabler to the line to shoot one more. And that one's good. Substitution for Albright, as Terrell will go to the bench with those 2 personals. Number 1, Kayana Chisholm will come into the game, the sophomore forward from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So now it's a 4-point lead for the Lions here, 8:02 to go. Good give and finish by Maggie O'Hare. Abby Gaffney feeding O'Hare, who gets it done from there. Under 8 to go in the second quarter, and another turnover by Lebanon Valley. That's going to be their 11th here, and we're only 13 minutes into the game. 6-point advantage at the moment for the 11th ranked Lions. Skip pass over to Ralph. Now she'll drive and lose the basketball, but they'll say she got fouled. I think Lebanon Valley wanted a traveling call. That's on Amber Kinser of Lebanon Valley. Her first, team second here in the second quarter. Inbound in the basketball now here, the Lions. O'Hare, top of the key. Back to Ralph, trying to get the Boggs. Boggs gets it on a low block, but doesn't do much with it. Now she about faces drive. Shot clock at 5. Right hand hook is good. Good move and finish by Gabby Boggs. She's now got 4 points for Albright. Full court press still by the Lions. This time, the Dutchmen are able to break it. As Bamberger brings the ball up the floor, nearly lost it. Stabler keeps it on the baseline. Skip pass all the way over to the far side of the floor. And now here's a runner in a lane, doesn't go. Stabler offense rebound goes up and gets blocked, gets it back again. That time no good, and then Boggs brings in the rebound. Gabby Boggs with another rebound. She averages 12 per contest. She's on her way to do that and more, already with 5 so far as we're nearing the midway point of the second quarter. O'Hare, good spin move, right hand layup though, doesn't fall, falls off the glass. Now top of the key 3, that one no good by Bamberg. It'll fall into the hands of Rauf. Still 6-point lead. Lebanon Valley scoreless in the last 2 minutes. Skip pass to Gaffney. Gaffney. Chisholm calling for it on a low block. And Boggs as well. Chisholm now coming up to set a screen. Rauf doesn't take it. Here's Gaffney. Shot clock at 10. Number 10 drives, kicks. Rauf. Baseline. Running out of time. Jumper short, no good. Rebound falls into the hands of Kinser of Lebanon Valley College. 5:55 to go here until the half. Now Stabler trying to feed Maley. Jump ball opportunity, no. It's going to fall into the hands of O'Hare, and it'll be a Dutchman turnover. Neither team has scored in 2 minutes. Locked at 24-16 for a while. 8-point lead at the moment. Now at Chisholm. She's double team. Goes up, right hand layup, and in for 2. Ayana Chisholm with her first opportunity. Capitalizes and gets 2 points. Double team Maley. She gets out of it. Gets it up floor. Kinser brings it into the half court set now. Full court press still active. Still a problem for Lebanon Valley, although they've been able to break it a bit. Now here a second turnover in the half court this time. Here's O'Hare. Up floor. Now she drives baseline, running out of room. No problem, though. Creates some more. Here's Rauf now. Chisholm up and in. Easy going. Rauf to Chisholm. And Chisholm is having her way down there. The sophomore from Steeltown High Spire gets 2 more. It's now 28-16 on the other end. That one's no good. The crowd wants to travel. Doesn't get it. The putback is true for Lebanon Valley's Kinser. That's the first basket for her today, and it's a 10-point lead for Albright. Here's Rauf. O'Hare, double team. Chisholm, left-handed layup, no good. Second chance, no good. Gets a block. Now she'll get it back. His third time the charm. That one's no good. It's short. Boggs ends up with it, though. She goes up. That doesn't go. 4 times and nothing for the Lions on that trip down the floor. And Lebanon Valley calls a timeout on the bench as they were bringing the ball up the floor. 4:10 to go here in the second quarter. Albright 28, Lebanon Valley 18. So 10-point lead at the moment. No offense to speak of really in that first quarter. It was a 13-11 after they started to heat up over the final few minutes. Just 7 points here in the second quarter right now for Lebanon Valley, who is now being doubled up by Albright, who scored 15 in the second quarter. Albright shooting 50% from the floor here in the second quarter. Two fouls for Lebanon Valley, 1 for Albright here in this period. And Albright really just their defense is what's causing the fits for Lebanon Valley. The Dutchmen have 13 turnovers here in the first half, just 3 for the Lions so far. So here we are out of the timeout, make that 14 turnovers. O'Hare steps in front, steals that pass, and then gets fouled on the other end. And now she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. That foul is on Sarah White of Lebanon Valley, her first, team's third. this quarter. Here's O'Hare for her first trip to the free throw line today. Team's 2 for 2 so far today, and a miss there on the first one. And the second is true. So 1 for 2 on that trip, makes an 11-point lead. And now O'Hare tried to reach too much there and gets called for a foul on the other end. Maybe trying to do a bit too much after getting a steal last time. Was feeling a bit confident, but she'll get called for the foul there. That is the first on her, the second on the Lions this quarter. Substitution for Lebanon Valley here before they inbound the basketball. Maley checks back in, and she comes in for number 33, Sophia Bowers. Under 4 minutes to go, 11-point lead for the Lions, who trailed by as many as 5 in that opening quarter, but their offense has come alive here in the second. Maley up in front of the rim, no good. Tipped it away after she missed it, but it falls into the hands of Dayton, who brings the ball up the floor for the Lions, and she's in a sprint. Now settles it down. Here's O'Hare. O'Hare hands it off to Gaffney. Dayton, good defense here by the Dutchman. Gaffney back to Dayton, shot clock at 8. Here's Boggs, skip pass once more. O'Hare drives underneath, up and under, no good. And Lebanon Valley will take over. Back up top here, Stabler over to Maley, top of the key three, no good. Maley made her first tray, hasn't made one since. She's now 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. That one was a good look, though. Dayton over to O'Hare. O'Hare for a deep three. That one misses everything. And out of play. Maggie O'Hare will go talk to Coach Luck. As substitution, Wassel back into the game. She comes in for Chisholm for the Lions here with 2:46 to go. Still an 11-point lead. Lions in the midst of a 9-2 run in the last 5 minutes and 20 seconds. In the last 2 minutes of that stretch, Lebanon Valley hasn't scored a point. Here's Bamberger. Now here's a elbow extended jumper, no good, and it falls into the hands of Wassel. Now outlet to Dayton. Dayton slows it down, though. It was a 1-on-3 as the Dutchmen were back on defense. Here's Wassel. Boggs to Dayton. Dayton drives, steps back, toe in a line. It'll be a 2, doesn't go. And a foul. Called on Dayton as they were trying to put on that full court press once again. 2:01 to go until the half. That's the first on Dayton, the third on the Lions. Both teams with 3 team fouls here this quarter. Dutchman on offense, looking for their first point in a while. Neither team scored in 2 minutes. And a whistle. And a foul on Albright. It's going to be on Wassel. First on her, and the fourth on Albright. Substitution for the Lions. O'Hare to the bench, and coming in for her, first time seeing her today, number 4, Emma Blewett, the sophomore guard from Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. Now here are the Dutchmen. Minute 42 to go. Looking to break a drought of 3 minutes. Stabler. Maley calling for it, gets it. Boggs on defense of her. Shot clock at 5, backs her down, goes up, and Emily Maley gets it to go for 2. The Minersville product scoring on average 17 points per game. Now has 9. Under 90 seconds remaining now. Gaffney, stop, shot in the lane. Nothing but net. Good look and move and finish in the lane for Abby Gaffney. Now drive, stop, shot. That's no good. Skip pass here. Now back up to Dayton. Dayton settles it down under a minute to go. A whistle and a foul. And this is going to be on Lebanon Valley's Sarah White.
Lebanon Valley's number 12, Sarah White.
And that's the second on her. Then she'll go to the bench with those 2 personals as Sophia Bowers comes in for her. Lebanon Valley with 14 fouls now. .12 on the shot clock now. Here's Dayton, pulls up for a mid-range jumper. That one doesn't go. Loose ball goes to Wassel. She goes up, and the second chance attempt is good. Wassel gets 2 to go. Now it's a 13-point lead for the Lions, their largest of the game so far. Now shot clock turned off. 15 seconds to go. Pick up the dribble. Clock at 4. Baseline underneath the Maley. She goes up and gets fouled with 1 second left in the half. And that foul is on Blewett. Her first, team's 5th. Maley will go to the line to shoot 2. The first is good. And the second here by Maley is also true. So she's the first player today in double figures. As she goes perfect 2 for 2 there and now has a game-high 11 points. And after the first half of play, your score, Albright 33, Lebanon Valley 22. A strong second half there by the Lions allow them to pull away as they outscore Lebanon Valley 20-9 in that second quarter. So we'll step aside, take a little halftime break. We'll come back with some first half stats and analysis and the second half action in a little bit. You're watching Albright Women's Basketball on the Albright Sports Network. Welcome back here on the Albright Sports Network at the half inside the Bowman Center of our women's basketball contest. It's Albright 33, Lebanon Valley 22. But the leading scorer of the game comes from the Dutchman's team. That's Emily Maley, who's got 11 points to lead all scorers. On Albright's side, you're looking at Deja Terrell with a team-high 8 points. Amina Raouf has 6 points with her 2 made 3-pointers. Gabby Boggs with 4. Kana Chisholm with 4 as well. Boggs with 8 rebounds already in the first half of play. Big issue plaguing the Dutchmen, though, turnovers. 14 turnovers for Lebanon Valley in that first half to just 3 for Albright. And then Albright took advantage of those miscues by the Dutchmen. They turned those 14 turnovers into 16 points for Albright. So something to clean up there in the second half for the Dutchmen as they try to climb out of this 11-point deficit. Albright led by as many as 13 in that opening half. So here's the Albright basketball to start the second half. Drive, kick, O'Hare for 3. That one's no good. A rebound hauled in by Lebanon Valley. Now over to the near side, top of the key. And that one rims in and out, no good. Now Terrell, top of the key 3, no good as she sat for a good chunk of that second quarter with 2 personal fouls. Now she's back in the lineup. Now here's the top of the key 3 for Lebanon Valley. That's no good, and a foul on Maley, who doesn't agree. Thinks she might have gotten pulled during as she was trying to haul in the rebound.
Foul on Lebanon Valley's number 35, Maley, her first.
That's on Maley, her first, team's first here in the half. So Albright will bring the basketball up the floor. Still an 11-point lead. Neither team has scored here in the second half yet. Terrell, kick, Boggs, right-hand layup, no good. Ball loose and an offensive foul called on Deja Terrell as she tried to go up and over someone. And Deja will stay in the game, though. Third on her, first on the lines this quarter. And that one's out of bounds off of Albright. It'll stay Lebanon Valley possession. Maley to inbound the basketball. Still looking for our first basket of the second half. There's Stabler. Now up top. Maley kicks it back out to Stabler, back to Maley, little hot potato, back and forth, shot clock at 5. Now it's all the way back to the top here. They'll throw up a shot. It's Kinser. That one doesn't go. Dayton brings in the rebound. Now Dayton looks to go coast to coast herself. She's got a lane, but can't get the layup to go, and Maley gets the rebound. Now surveying the floor, O'Hare nearly stole it away. Now an open 3, knocked down as O'Hare went for the steal. That left Bamberger wide open, and she made him pay for it and knocked down the 3 for our first basket of the second half. Now 33-25. And that left-hand layup by O'Hare is good. That stops a 3-minute scoreless stretch by the Lions. Full court press kicks that basketball all the way up. Substitution for the Dutchman. Sophia Bowers is in, and Sarah White heads to the bench. Dutchman inbound the basketball. Full court press still being used here by the Lions, but they get it across midcourt here. And now here's a three from Maley, and that's good. Emily Maley made one in the first half, and now here again in the second half. And that 11-point lead at the break has now dwindled down to 7. Terrell double-teamed, low block, balls on the floor, and Lebanon Valley has it. An Albright turnover. But Albright takes it right back. Here's O'Hare, and a left-hand layup is good on the breakaway. So now the offense starts to pick up a bit after no one scoring for the first 2 to 3 minutes of this half. And a traveling violation called there on Bowers. And that'll give the ball back to Albright, the 17th turnover on the visitors this afternoon. Now it's over to Terrell. Terrell drives. Now Dayton for three. That one's good. Haley Dayton for three. 40-28. They continue to use the full court press, trying to grow their lead here, but they break it. And nearly a turnover, but it's chased down on that far end by Stabler. Here's a jumper by Kinzer. That's no good. Terrell gets a rebound and immediately gets fouled by Morgan Bamberger. That is the first on her and the second on Lebanon Valley here in the third quarter. Dayton drives, kicks to Wassel, who skip pass all the way over to Boggs. Now here comes Boggs on the right side. No good. Maley hauls in the rebound. 40-28, it remains here with 5:33 to go as we near the midway point of the third quarter, and now another traveling violation on the Dutchman. $12-point lead. It was as many as 13 points in the first half. Now a tip and a steal and an Albright turnover. Now Maley, Boggs on defensive hurl. She decided to back her down. She's going to try, works that far side. Terrell comes with help defense. It might have impacted her, and she misses the shot. Dayton hands off to Wassel for a deep three. No good. Boggs hauls in the rebound. She's now got 10 rebounds. Here's Dayton. That's who they kick it out to. That one's too strong. No good. And Stabler brings in the rebound. Now back up top, here's a three. That one's good for Morgan Bamberger. She drains the three. Now 40-31. The Dutchmen have cut it down to just a single-digit deficit. With 4:12 to go. Wassel layup, no good. Terrell's second chance is true. She lets out a little scream as Albright continues on a bit of a run here, and they've ended that one. Now a turnover, and they get it right back. Here's a O'Hare jumper. That one's nothing but net. Make it 44-31. That's the fourth steal by Boggs already today. And O'Hare's now got 9 points. Bowers drives, right side, contact and a foul called on Deja Terrell. And that's going to be the fourth on her. And she's likely going to the bench for a while with those 4. She heads to the bench alongside Wassel. Coming back in, Chisholm and Rauf. This rotation here had a lot of success in the first half. Chisholm had 4 points, and Rauf had 6. Rauf making 2 3-pointers to get those 6 points. That's the second team foul on Albright in the quarter. So shooting 2 at the free throw line is Bowers for Lebanon Valley. She misses the first. And the second is no good too. 3:25 to go here in the third. 13-point lead and a collision in the half court there as Kinser collided with Dayton. That's on Kinser, the foul. Her second, team's third. Now Dayton with the basketball. Over to Rauf. She drives, stops, little jumper, good. Rauf with 2 more. She's 3 for 7 from the floor. Whistle. That one, they'll have to inbound once again. 3:07 to go in the third. 15-point advantage for Albright, now their largest lead of the game. That one nearly stolen away from Bamberger, who then recovers and finds the wide open cutting Bowers, who misses the layup. Now Dayton sprinting down the floor, kicks it to Rauf, who drives back to Dayton. Dayton now, step back 3, no good. Boggs chases down the rebound. That's 13 rebounds for Boggs. That one up, no good. Dutchman with it at the top of the key. Now to the near side. Foul is on Chisholm there on Albright. And now here's a free throw. After a substitution, Gaffney is in for Dayton. That's the first foul on Chisholm. That one rims in and out, no good. But offensive rebound goes to the Dutchman and a whistle. And a little conversation between the officials here with 2:03 to go in the third of a 46-32 ball game. So it'll stay with the Dutchman here. Inbound in the basketball on the near side. And that one is going to stay with the Dutchman as Boggs tried to save it. Near side corner 3. That one's nothing but net. Shot clock was at 4, and Bamberger drains the 3. Skip pass to O'Hare. Drives, back up top now, Gaffney with it. Gaffney, little floater. That one falls off the front of the rim and in for 2. Under 90 seconds to go here in the third now. 48-35 the score. And now a turnover. Boggs steps in front of the pass, gives it to O'Hare. Jumper, nothing but net. Maggie O'Hare with 2 more. that one nearly out of bounds. Up to O'Hare. O'Hare, the collision, whistle silent, fighting for the loose basketball, and Dutchman will pick it up. Now here's a three. That one good for Bamberger again. Another tray for Bamberger, and a timeout called by Albright. As she wants to talk things over, as that lead that was at one point as many as 15 points, now they cut into it with a couple of threes, and she might not have liked the look she saw on the defensive end by her team. So she'll call a 30-second timeout with 29 seconds to go. $11 points for Maggie O'Hare, leading the way for Albright here. Deja Terrell with 10, but she's on the bench with 4 personal fouls and will probably stay there for quite a bit, especially if Albright's able to remain in the lead. Rauf with 8 points. Emily Maley with a game-high 14 at the moment. Bamberger with 12, including 4 3-pointers, so all 12 coming from beyond the arc. Now Rauf with it. Out of the timeout. Insertion to Boggs on the low block. She kicks it over to Gaffney, who drives up in traffic, and she gets fouled on the baseline. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. Shot clock was turned off there. 13 seconds remain on the game clock here in the third. And that first one is good. And the second free throw is also good. 52-38. And full court press is broken there by the Dutchman, but then a traveling violation called on Lebanon Valley. So another turnover. That'll be their 23rd of the game. Now here, just 4 seconds left. Day trying to beat the clock. Gaffney tried. Second chance, no good. And that'll do it. So 3 quarters in the books. Your score, Albright 52, Lebanon Valley 38. We'll step aside and we'll be right back with the fourth quarter after this on the Albright Sports Network. Back here on the Albright Sports Network inside Bowman Center. Fourth quarter underway now here in our contest between Albright and Lebanon Valley. The Lions with a 14-point advantage entering the final stanza. And nearly another turnover. That's been the biggest issue for the Dutchmen today, with 22 of them. After the miss here of the Lions. And that one's no good. Maley hauls it in. Now that one up and falls off, no good, as Bamberger tried to lay that one in. Now, but the Dutchman keeping now a dry right-handed layup. That one's good for Lebanon Valley Sarah White. As Lebanon Valley won't go down without a fight here in this one. But they got a lot of ground to make up here over the final 9 minutes. This one, left-handed layup, is good for Gaffney. And that one, nearly a turnover, a collision for the loose ball, and it falls into the hands of the Dutchman again. And an offensive foul. Call on Lebanon Valley. That's on Stabler, her third, team's first here in the fourth quarter. O'Hare surveying the floor, now gets over to Gaffney. Gaffney to Rauf on the near side. Boggs calling for it on a low block. Boggs already with 13 rebounds. Here's O'Hare for a deep three. That misses everything. And the Dutchmen save it from going out of bounds. Now they push it up floor. Up ahead to Bamberger. Bamberger trapped in the corner, finds an outlet in Mealy and a foul. As Boggs fouled her, trying to reach around to tip away that pass. Now that one nearly stolen away. Mealy got it on the floor, but she's able to get it out to Kinser, now here to the top of the key. And tipped out of play. No, nearly out of play. Saved by Slater, though, but then she travels. So that'll be another turnover by the Dutchmen, their 24th. Rauf over to Boggs. Boggs looks to drive left-handed layup. Good for Gabby Boggs. She's now got 6 points. She needs a couple more to get a double here tonight, as she's already above her nightly average in rebounds. That one's tipped and stolen away by Rauf and Albright, and then she immediately gets fouled in the corner. That foul's on White. That was her third. And then a timeout called by Lebanon Valley. A full timeout. We'll take it with them. 7:23 to go in this one. Albright 56, Lebanon Valley 40. We'll be right back after this with more Albright women's basketball on the Albright Sports Network. Back here inside the Bowman Center, 7:23 to go here in this one. Rauf gets it off the inbound. Now it's with Gaffney at the top. Lebanon Valley hasn't scored in 2 minutes. And an offensive foul called on the Lions. Offensive foul on Chisholm, her second, team second. Here this quarter. Now full court press again, trying to trap, cause a turnover. Bamberger throws it away, nearly lost it, and they do. Gaffney steals it away up into Rob. She's got a wide open left-handed layup and puts it in for two. Full court pressure continues to wreak havoc on this Lebanon Valley team. 6-0 run in the last 2 minutes for the Lions. Now here's a three by Bamberger. That one no good. And rebound hauled in by Boggs. Up ahead to Boggs in transition, lays it in. Good seamless pass and finish from Gaffney to Boggs, who now has 8 points to go along with her 14 rebounds and 5 steals. What a day by Gabby Boggs. And another Lebanon Valley turnover. O'Hare, little spin move, hands off to Chisholm, but they'll say she traveled before she passed the ball to Chisholm, and it'll be a turnover.
Number 33, Sophia Bowers.
Bowers is back into the game. Tipped pass, trying to break the full court press. Slater gets it, and then does get the ball across midcourt. That one tipped out of play, but it'll stay here with the Dutchman. Substitution, we'll see Deja Terrell back into the game.
Number 32, Deja Terrell.
Terrell comes in for Chisholm. Chisholm with a good run off the bench, helping out while Terrell was on the bench with 4 personal fouls. Now she comes back into the game for the final 5:55. Albright on an 8-0 run in the last 3 minutes and 13 seconds. It's a 10-2 run in the last 5 minutes. And that one's stolen away for the 28th turnover. O'Hare to Raouf, and a left-handed layup counted and a foul. Amina Raouf got the left-handed lay-in to go. And we'll go to the line for the chance for one more. Raouf now's got 12 points, a team-high total. Can tack on another here if she can make this free throw. Be her first attempt at the foul line today, and she makes it. Now it's a 23-point lead for the Lions here with 5:37 to go. Now jump stop and jumper. Slater no good. Terrell hauls in the rebound and gets fouled. That'll be the 4th foul on Lebanon Valley here in the 4th. And the foul's going to be on Stabler, her 3rd. Excuse me, 4th. Nearing the midway point of the final quarter of play of this one. The 11th ranked Albright Lions trailed by 5 in the first quarter to Lebanon Valley, but stormed back in the second and has just increased their lead here in the 3rd and 4th quarters. That one nearly stolen away. Shot clock at 10 as we dip under 5 minutes to go. Boggs gets tripped and a foul. As they will inbound. No, they'll say she will shoot 2 because that's the 5th personal foul on the team to this 4th quarter. So they'll be shooting 2 free throws for the remainder of the game. And the first free throw is good by Boggs. And the second is good as well. Now she's got 10 points and a double-double. Nearly another turnover. Might be a half-court violation. No, they just get it across before the 10th second. Bowers loses it out of bounds and a turnover. The 29th. Albright on a 13-0 run in the last 4 minutes and 32 seconds, and a timeout called by Lebanon Valley, a 30-second timeout. The Lions, if they can hold on here, will improve to 19-2 overall, 10-2 in league play. They're currently tied at the same conference record with Widener coming into today. Widener is off today, but Widener and them will face off on Wednesday in the team's next game for Albright. So a big game looming for the Lions that could potentially decide second and third in the standings with just a few games remaining here in the 2019-20 regular season. And then after that, the Lions will return home on February 15th to host Lycoming at 1 p.m. live here on the Albright Sports Network. Out of the timeout, 4:36 to go, a 25-point advantage for the Lions, 65-40. Ralph with it, now back to Gaffney. Gaffney to Boggs. Boggs to Terrell. Good ball movement and finish. Just going right over top the defense, down the lane and in for two. Deja Terrell now into 12 points now, with 4 rebounds to her credit too. 4:10 to go. Bamberger thought about a 3, thought better of it, now pulls it out to Maley. Maley drives, nearly had it tipped away and a foul. That's on Rauf, her second. And the third on the Lions here in the fourth quarter. Now here, Maley, little jumper in a lane is good. Emily Maley now with 16 points to lead all scorers here today. Averages 17 per game. This is just a nightly thing she does. Insertion, low block, O'Hare gets fouled as she went on the left side. I think a bit frustrated, she wanted that layup to go. But instead, we'll try to get 2 at the free throw line. That foul's on Bamberger, her second. And O'Hare will shoot 2 free throws. O'Hare misses the first. She's 1 for 2 from the free throw line before this trip. And the second here for her with 3:41 to go. Rims in and out, no good. And a whistle and a foul as Terrell was trying to go for the offensive rebound. So that was a foul on Lebanon Valley as Terrell hauled in the rebound and then got fouled officially. That foul is on Maley, her second. So now Terrell will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. The first is good. And the second is good as well. So 69-42, 3:36 to go here in the ball game. Now to the near side, Rauf on defense, thought about going for the steal. Bamberger with the basketball, now over to Maley. Kinser into Maley, but it gets stolen away by Terrell, who just took it away from Maley for the 29th turnover by Lebanon Valley today. Now back to Terrell and in. Terrell to O'Hare. O'Hare back to Terrell, and Terrell will finish the job as she now has 16 points. Tied with a game-high total with Maley. Now trying to get it to Maley on the low block. They do. She goes up, loses it, up for grabs. O'Hare saves it. It's on the floor. Albright has it, and they call a timeout. Terrell corralled it and then smartly called a timeout to keep the possession. And Coach Luck will just do a 30-second timeout here with 2:41 to go. And Albright will inbound the basketball on the other side of the timeout. with 2:41 to go here. Earlier this season at Lebanon Valley, Albright earned a 67-52 victory over the Dutchman. That was back on December 7th. And now here they look to pull off an even bigger margin of victory against LVC. Just a couple of home games remaining here in the regular season for Albright. They have today against Lebanon Valley and then 2 more after this. The next 2 Saturdays, I mentioned before, they'll be hosting Lycoming 1 week from today at 1 o'clock. And then their regular season finale is set for February 22nd here inside the Bowman Center when they battle Messiah. That is also a 1 p.m. tip. Here's Gaffney bringing the ball up the floor, 2:34 to go here. Substitutions, Maggie O'Hare and Omina Rauf went out during that timeout. Lindsey Williamson and Emma Blewett are into the ball game. Williamson, first time seeing her today, the freshman guard from nearby Ole, Pennsylvania. 2:15 to go, 71-42. Stabler trying to get it to Maley, went out of bounds off of Blewett, the Upper Darby product. Now here's another substitution. Gaffney will go to the bench, and coming in for her is the freshman guard from Hamilton, New Jersey, Amy Jones. Blewett in the corner. Shot clock at 10. Now they kick it out to, there's a jumper, and it's good by Sophia Bowers. And traveling violation and a turnover. Substitutions for both teams. Coming in for Albright is Kiana Chisholm. She comes in for Lindsay Boggs, who just had Gabby Boggs, who just had a tremendous day. 10 points, 14 rebounds, 7 steals, 3 blocks, 3 assists. And on Lebanon Valley side, Kinser went to the bench, and Sarah White is now into the ball game for her with 1:40 to go. Underneath, and a traveling violation by Stabler. Dragged her feet a bit. Albright has outscored Lebanon Valley 19-4 in the last 7 minutes and 30 seconds. They just have 6 points this quarter due to the Dutchman. Low block Chisholm. Backing down Maley and gets fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 1:24 to go. That's the 3rd foul on Maley. And, of course, they're over the limit already. So 2 free throws coming up for Chisholm. And now it's 72-44. Make that 73-44 after a perfect trip to the free throw line. Underneath to Maley. Terrell on defense. Maley goes up and in for 2. 73-46 now as Maley has 18 points. It's a game high and just above her nightly average. Terrell at the top of the key, under a minute to go, hoists up a 3 and has it. Deja Terrell, nothing but net for 3. As she now has 19 to retake the game high total label from Maley. And Bamberger for a 3, so LVC answers with a 3 of their own. 30 seconds to go, about 10 seconds between the shot and game clock. Blewett gets it to Terrell. Right back to her, little give and go, but the pass doesn't get there, a turnover. 10th one on the Lions today. Shot clock turned off. Blewett, Chisholm on defense of her, backing her down, swim move up and under and in for 2. Good move by Emily Maley. And that'll do it here for this one as as the final score is Albright 76, Lebanon Valley 51, and a battle of the interior players here today, as Emily Maley finishes with a game-high 20 points and 12 rebounds, finishes with a double-double, but it's not enough to get the Dutchmen the road win here today, as the Lions bounce back from a loss at Stevenson, and the 11th-ranked Albright women's basketball team earns the victory here on their home floor at the Bowman Center. Deja Terrell finishes with a team-high 19 points to go along with 5 rebounds as well. Gabby Boggs logs a double-double, 10 points and